Hi, I'm Melissa Philippi with Give Nebraska. Thank you for joining us today. We are talking with Becky Gould from Nebraska Appleseed. Hi, Becky.
Hello, happy to be here.
Thank you for joining us. Tell us a little bit about the mission and vision of Nebraska Appleseed.
Yeah, so our mission at Nebraska Appleseed is to fight for justice and opportunity for all Nebraskans. And we do that by focusing our work in 4 broad areas where we know communities across the state face some problems and that there's an opportunity to try to solve those problems through law and policy. So we have our economic justice program that looks at persistent poverty across the state and how we can address that. Our child welfare program, which looks at the foster care system and how we can help that work better for kids and families. Our healthcare access program, which is pretty straightforward, looking at making sure all Nebraskans have access to quality, affordable healthcare. And then our immigrants and communities program, which is working to build strong, vibrant, inclusive, and engaged communities across the state. So we do our work by partnering with community members all across the state who have a vision for the change they'd like to see in their community, and then bringing our expertise as community organizers and lawyers and policy experts and communications folks, bringing this really multidisciplinary staff to support that community work and help it succeed. And so, so that's really how we approach our work. We can, work alongside folks in the community. We can go to the legislature, to our members of Congress, to try to create policy change. And we sometimes go to court and represent folks, usually a large group of folks who are all experiencing the same problem, and try to find a solution through our legal system. And so that is our approach, our mission, and how we do our work.
Thank you. That really explains a lot about the breadth of what you're doing. How do donor dollars make an impact for your organization?
Donor dollars are really critical to what we do. As I explained, we're looking at what are the problems that are bubbling up at a community level. And when you're writing grants, foundations are wonderful support. Grants are an amazing support of our work as well. But you're often having to predict what the community need is going to be a year out, and sometimes 2 years out. And so often there are things that come up that you can't predict and that you need to respond to. And donor dollars really give us that flexibility to take our work where it's needed most and to invest those dollars right away into the places where they'll have the biggest impact and the strongest outcome. And so we are really grateful for the individual donors who support our work, and in particular the individuals that support us through Give Nebraska. It's just another space where we can connect with people who are interested in the same kinds of things that we're interested in at Appleseed, and then really help them put their dollars to work in the community in a way that's meaningful to them.
That you hit on one of the things that it's the reason we're here. We want to connect donors with the causes they care about, like Nebraska Appleseed. How has being a member of Give Nebraska benefited Nebraska Appleseed?
Yeah, it's a huge benefit to us. Workplace giving is definitely, one of the ways that individuals like to give. It's very easy and seamless, and we can't do that on our own. If there isn't a Give Nebraska, we don't have a way to provide that option for folks that really want to use that as their way to give back. And so it's huge from that standpoint in terms of helping us reach folks we might not otherwise reach, and providing that opportunity for them to give in the way that that makes sense for them. The other thing I think I'm always excited by when the pamphlets come out and you look at the full array of groups that are a part of Give Nebraska, and it really paints this picture of a vibrant and impactful nonprofit community. And it's all of the things that that we think about that really help support a thriving community, whether that's organizations that directly are serving kids and families, organizations that are helping provide cultural experiences in our communities, organizations that are helping to care for animals. There's just a huge breadth of groups that are a part of Give Nebraska. And, it's exciting to be in the mix of that. It's also exciting, to be able to see the impact that nonprofits are having in the community. And then, Give Nebraska provides the opportunity for folks to give to all of that if you want to, or to pick out the things you're most passionate about. And I think that, that's one of the values we hold at Appleseed, is really that sense of agency and choice, and making sure that folks can, put their resources where their passions are. And I think Give Nebraska allows you to do that.
You hit on one of the things that I love about working here. All of those different nonprofits that I get to learn more about, I get to work alongside and raise money for. It is, like you said, it is an incredible group and a very diverse, broad range of missions. And it makes my job incredibly rewarding and fun to be able to talk about all of them. And we love having you as part of that family.
Thank you.
Last question for you. Why does Nebraska need your organization?
Yeah, I'm, regularly talking to our staff about, part of our job is to take on the hard things, the really tough problems that might not otherwise get addressed. And so, we're really here to partner with communities in tackling those really tough problems, whether that's persistent poverty, lack of affordable housing. Right now, we're doing work to try to raise the minimum wage, things that are really hitting Nebraskans day to day in really significant ways, and where we can bring our expertise and partnership to work with folks to bring about really large scale meaningful change. And I think about, Medicaid expansion, which was another thing we worked on for many years. And, eventually seeing that program is now touching the lives of over 50,000 Nebraskans. That's, an amazing outcome. And it wasn't something we did alone. It's really something that we did with a lot of organizational partners, a lot of community members, a lot of people, individuals who didn't have access to healthcare, and then ultimately Nebraska voters. They decided to create that program, and our role then became to make sure it was implemented. And so when I think about, what we're needed for, I think it's to take on those really big, challenging problems and to stick with them until we reach a finish line. And doing that in partnership, side by side, with folks who are directly living the issues and know what the right solutions are. And we are there to support them in moving that forward.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for all of the great work that you're doing. We really appreciate having you as part of Give Nebraska, and hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks, Becky.
Thank you so much. It's been my pleasure.